Okay, I'm not as verbose or long-winded as Neil is, and not as good at making PowerPoint presentations. So my short portion on contesting will be followed by show and tell, which I'm pretty good at. So contesting, ARRL has coined a new word, radio sport. It's a competition to see how many contacts you can make with other amateurs over a period of time. And you follow the rules of the contest. Each contest is different, and so it's imperative that you go to their website or their information booklets and follow the rules explicitly. There are lots of different contests. One of the biggest ones is the CQ Worldwide DX contest. North American Sprint is one that only goes for 4 hours. That's why they call it a sprint. And it has some really interesting rules. Anyway, North American QSO Party, Field Day, which all of you folks are invited to for the club. It's the fourth full weekend in June. It's going to be the 22nd and 23rd of June this year. And we're going to be at Rio Linda Historical Society. And it's a lot of fun. When you come and visit, the people that are operating are going to be looking at the radio. They're going to not be looking behind them. So if you want to operate, you get their attention, say, "Hi, I'd like to operate," and they'll happily get up and let you operate. You can also add a second thing to that, which is, "Hi, I want to operate and I need help." And that's the best thing to admit. They'll sit down next to you and you get on the mic, or if you have good CW skills, you get on the key and make a bunch of contacts and have fun. There's the state QSO Party. The one that you probably will participate in is the California QSO Party. And the rules on that is that there are 58 counties in the state of California, and part of the report is the county you live in. And so people all the way around the country try to get all 58 counties, and you try to get 58 other people, so that the scores equal out. So it's a lot of fun. People go up to Alpine County and Modoc County and set up a portable station and work from there. I work from my house.
I saw your tower.
We'll talk about that. Anyway, there's all sorts of them. If you're working a contest, you need to use software. The software the River City Arcs Club uses for Field Day is written by a ham N3FJP. You look that up on the internet, and he will sell you a program for your PC that is specifically made for that contest. It follows the rules. It puts fields in that you just fill in. And the cheapest thing is to buy his whole package. It's about $80, and you get every contest, and it's updated forever for free. And so it's really a good one. The Ham Radio Deluxe and Mac Logger DX, which is what I use because I'm a Mac user, all have contest segments on it, but I think N3FJP is the easiest to use and the most up-to-date. So, why do you use contest software? Well, it does everything. It collects the data, keeps a permanent record, checks for dupes, I'll explain dupes in a second, keeps track of the time, and it formats the data properly so that you send it in to the sponsor, it gets logged, and you get your credit for working contest. They automate the log submission for the contest operator, and it generates a file to put into your logging software if you're using something different. And it also formats your contest so you can upload it to Logbook of the World. And Logbook of the World is something you all should get right now. And a plug, I'm not an officer, I'm not anything except a member. You all ought to join ARRL if you haven't. They're protecting our frequencies. It's a good organization. They sponsor all sorts of things. They help kids, they help us, and they did Logbook of the World, so pay them by being a member. The disadvantage to contest software is it costs you some money. The alternative is using a paper log and then sitting and transcribing it to enter it into the contest sponsors. We'll talk about that in a second. Why do contests? Well, you can help you get your worked all states and DXCC because you're making lots of contacts in a short period of time. Contest awards go by state, section, power level. Your call gets published. If you are in a CQ contest or something like that, when the magazine comes out, N6 PGQ, cool. I'm way down there. Or you get a shirt. You know, you can, whatever. Anyway, why work it? Well, it keeps you off of YouTube and keeps you off the street. And it justifies spending your money on your rig. Look at what I'm doing. Here, XYL. There I am in the magazine. See? Anyway.
And your wife has as much enthusiasm as mine.
Well, okay, can I get personal a little bit?
I think you're trying to break a pile.
I was really fortunate in that my father-in-law was a ham. And he's an older ham. So all their trips had this big HF rig bolted to the underside of the dash of his pickup truck with a dynamotor, if you all know what a dynamotor is, whirring under the hood to provide the power for the radio, and a big, kind of looked like a highway patrol whip on the back with a loading coil inside an ammo can that was drilled into the side of the truck. And so, you know, my little HF rig that's under the dash is not too bad. So anyway.
Bob?
Yeah.
There were a couple of other reasons that I would consider doing contests. First of all, it helps you develop your operating skills to be able to copy signals under adverse conditions, to be able to operate efficiently and quickly, and also to get your station in tip-top operating condition. All of these things contribute to your performance in a contest. So I could see that as very, very good motivation for participating.
Jump in. Absolutely. So, that's a contest. It's fun. You're competing against other people. You've improved your station. Your copying skills of calls and locations is good. You don't want to be a lid, bad operator, asking them, what did you say again? Was that N6 or W6? You know, so you figure it out, and the more you do it, the better you get, hopefully, anyway. So, here's more fun with HF radio. First, any questions about contesting? I mean, I went by really fast.
Is anybody in the class done contesting? Has been involved in contesting?
Which contest?
I did one time the California QSO party.
Okay.
I don't know if that's really a contest.
Yeah, it is. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I did the North American.
North American QSO?
Yeah, that's a sprint.
Yeah. Oh, Sprint. Oh, Sprint's fun.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Sprint is an interesting one. When people are doing contests, if you have lots of power, you're going to stay on one frequency and people are going to call you. Or you can search and pounce, which means that you turn your dial until you hear somebody and I haven't worked him, and so you try to call him. So you're competing with everybody else. The rule for that contest is that once you make a contact, you have to move frequencies. So nobody's going to sit there and hold the frequency with their 1500 watt station and stacked Yaggies in their backyard and all that kind of stuff, because they have to move. So it's a pretty good contest. It's pretty fun. Special event stations. So you're an organization. You want to publicize it, whether it's Route 66 on the air, so there's all sorts of different stations along Route 66 all the way from California to Chicago, and you try to work as many of them as you can. There's the world's largest teapot. It's a great big teapot out in the middle of nowhere, and you try to work them. So these are just a few of the context. Do I have anything else on this thing? Oh, how do you, let me finish this first and then I'll talk about this. How do you find special event stations? They're published in QST. And so, it tells you the date, approximate frequencies, if it's a Pearl Harbor Day or Memorial Day or something like that, there's always going to be a station, maybe the station that's on one of the battleships or something like that. And so those are published in QST. You can find it anywhere else. Two in the bands. There's, as Neil said, parks on the air, summits on the air, where people go out and take their radio out in the middle of nowhere and you try to contact them. There's websites that tell you where they are and when they are. Anyway, they're trying to have you contact them, and so you have fun. It's fun. There's a variety of modes and choices. It can be addictive. There's no known effective vaccine. It's an incredible learning experience. Like Neil said, your geography, history, and customs, flags, languages. And we're to help you guys. So if you have any questions or setups, that's what we're here for. So that's my conclusion for that part. Join the ARRL. And I'm not advertising for Carol. She can do it herself. Anyway, could someone turn the lights back on, please? It's show and tell. Pardon?
I think you have one more.
I have one more slide. Oh, yeah, hang on. Okay, never give up. Up on the left side is my tower. I have a 75-foot tower with a DB18 antenna on it, which my dear wife let me pay with my money that I earned playing music. Well, we had a good wind, and the tower was built incorrectly, and so I have, as you can see on the left, one of the few inverted V towers that is in the market.
It was some different shadowing here.
It doesn't work as well as it was designed, and as you can see, it kind of bent all the superstructure on the silly thing. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, lights, and then we'll do questions. Okay, so these are a few of the silly special events I've done. This is the award you get for the 13 colonies special event. So there's a station in each one of the 13 colonies, and you try to work them all. And I did. Talked about the California QSO party. Actually got an award. I was third place in low power in Placer County. Cool. So there you go. Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Club has a special event station for each of the 3 races they have: the Grand Prix, the Indy 500, and the Brickyard, whatever NASCAR does. And so if you work all 3 of the stations, you get QSL card, and then they give you
I'll put them all in here so everybody can see.
They give you this nice thing that's got your call sign in it and says you worked all 3 of them. I just grabbed a few of these. This one was the Texas Parks and Wildlife Buffalo Soldiers Heritage. So these were
You see, only real
very
events
cool.
count.
Buffalo Soldiers. They celebrate all sorts of stuff. This is Big Brutus. It's the biggest loader that there is, so they celebrated Big Brutus. And then this was at the Science Fiction Convention, WindyCon, W9W, and they sent you a thing like that. So they're fun, and it fills up binders and all that kind of stuff. So, Neil, while I'm talking, can you switch projectors to this thing, and I'll do some show and tell first. Okay.
You need us to move here?
No, I just need to roll up my stuff here. I'm trying to keep it
By the way, we're gonna
straight,
be,
you know.
when it is done, we're putting everything in here. You guys can come in and take a look in detail.
So, you heard from Phil, and Phil talked to you about end-fed half-wave antennas. So I'm going to talk a little bit about alternative antennas that you can get for cheap. So, the first thing, and a lot of these are mobile antennas. This is a Hustler whip, and this is a 40-meter whip. Really? And it goes and screws into the back of your truck, you know, with the little wiggly string on the bottom, or however you want to do it. You can also put some radios on this thing, put it in your backyard, and it works like a champ. They're really pretty good. A friend of mine, Don, W6PJJ, uses this on his bicycle. He has a bicycle with a KX3 on it and everything, and this is what he uses on his bike. There are screwdriver antennas. This is one of the least expensive and poorest screwdriver antenna. Oops, hello. This is an ATAS antenna that's made by Yaesu, and they're portable mobile radios interfaced with this. When you change bands, this raises and lowers to change the frequency, and the radio stops tuning when this is in tune. Tar Heel makes them that are much better, and there's lots of companies that make them. Same thing, Yaesu even sells it, but you can make your own. You just put radio wires on the thing and operate. So there's that. Then, going next cheap, or really cheap, are ham sticks. These are sold by many different companies. I can't remember, this might be an MFJ one. I'm going to ruin this place, aren't I? The one thing you have to know about these things is they have to be tuned, and so you need to find somebody with an antenna analyzer or buy your own or something like that, because you tune it by putting a stainless steel whip in and out. And a hint for everybody that will do this incorrectly: you can't go past the loading coil that's right here. So if you just slide it in more, it won't tune with beans. So if you're careful, you have to get a grinder or something and cut the thing to the right length and put it in and tune it. And then your tuner in your radio or something will work. You tune it to the middle of the band. So this also would need radials, or these screw into the same mount on your car. Now, you can cheat, and you get a little device like this. Stab somebody, yeah, probably. You get a little device like this, and you take, I'm gonna kill somebody, aren't I? And you take 2 ham sticks, and you screw them together, and you, thank you, and you make a dipole. And you don't need any radials, and it doesn't take up any room, and there isn't much wind load. So you can get a PVC pipe or something like that, and put this outside and have a directional antenna
And
that,
it is rotators.
and you use, grab the end, you use the Armstrong rotator and talk all over the place. Worked all sorts of things.
Wilson has that set up right now when you're checking in on 10 meter and 40 meter.
I don't have one of these for 10 meters.
Yeah.
I should. Anyway, rigs. Used rigs are wonderful. They save you lots of money. The only problem with used rigs is that unscrupulous people may sell you a bad one. And when you see the ad that says, no return, you have to think twice. But there's also the problem that some of the better radios that they sell and say no return, people take modules out of them, like the filters that you do CW and things like that, and you send it back, and you've stolen their filters. So that's why they don't do returns. Okay, so here's some samples of radios that you can find for sale used that are a little long in the tooth, but not bad. Okay, these are radios that can be used mobile. This has a mobile bracket on it. This is a Yaesu FT757 GX2. Many of the River City Arcs field days were done with this particular radio. Looking on the internet, these go for about $400 to $700. Now, if you can buy a brand new, nice little 7300 for $1,000, you're talking $300 more than this for a brand new radio with a warranty. I think ICOM has like killed the used market. But anyway, this is a Kenwood TS 140. It's a nice little radio. They're 350 to 550. This is my old Elecraft K3. It's a wonderful radio. It's
What?
Elecraft. What, this?
Yeah.
It's a K3, and
By company called Elecraft.
they're made
Same one that
in
makes
California. They're made in Watsonville. The owners of the company, the two owners, are both hams, both majorly good CW operators. They design all their radios, and they're wonderful. They've come out with a new K4. If you want to be sitting down when you look at the price, it's obsoleted, this radio, but they've held their value. This one, depending on what's in it, is about $1,200 to $1,600 for a used radio. Then Carol was talking about QRP. This is the same company. This is an Elecraft KX3. It does absolutely everything this does, except it only puts out 15 watts. So it'll operate all modes from 160 through 6 meters, and you can buy a module that does 2 meters. So you can do sideband 2 meters or whatever you want with this.
Whole ham shack and a ham.
And it you can pack it. They also have a KX2, which is about less than 2/3 the size of this. But it doesn't have FM, it doesn't do 160, and it only puts out 11 watts. But it's really small.
That's the
Okay.
radio that I bring when I operate from Puerto Rico. I packed it in my roller bag. And there's a matching amplifier for that
There's
also,
a matching 100-watt amplifier. that
which
you
works
can-
almost as good as the K3.
Yes, it
That
does.
combination.
Yep. Okay, so not Neil, what's his name? But did the infed antenna thing.
Phil.
Phil, thank you.
Phil.
Got an L in it.
You need an antenna tuner. This is a good old MFJ antenna tuner. They're at every swap meet. Now, how do you know if it's good? Well, if you happen to go to a good swap meet, like the one that was just in Loomis, they have a testing table. And you go to the guy and you say, will you come with me to the table? I want to check this. Or give them 20 bucks and say, I'll be right back. And you go and you get the screwdriver and you open the thing up and you look at it and you say, there's no burning indicated on the inductors. It smells good. Don't laugh. And you buy yourself an antenna tuner for 20, 30 bucks or something, and then your hand-fed antenna works really good. So anyway, those things that I showed you, all those mobile things, are if you don't have a tree in your backyard, or you don't have any room in your backyard, or you don't want to leave an antenna up all the time. So there's some things that I brought. I was going to use it to run some of the speakers. That's my PowerWorks power box. I got lazy and bought one that was pre-built. You have to look at Neil's. He did a really good job making his own, and he found out Amazon was his friend. So you buy this part and that part and everything else.
Yeah.
So
Boxes.
anyway,
Yeah.
this is a sample, which is up there. Oh yeah, questions.
Any questions about
Oh yeah, any questions about the stuff?
it?
It's just stuff.
Stuff.
What's the little board?
That's a picture.
Oh, that's a Pixie transmitter. Carol built that.
Yeah, we built it in the DIY radio group about 4 years ago, and the current group is building it also. They're doing breadboarding, and it costs about $10 in parts, puts out less than a watt, and it's one frequency only, crystal control, and it's a real transceiver. And I've used that to talk, to make contact, so you can go.
CW?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It's CW only.
it's CW, it can work off a 9-volt battery, and we make contact with it. So you can go as deep as you want, it's pretty fun.
Before Bob goes in there, he's talking about this program, and he mentioned earlier about the N3FJP, and he said you should buy the whole thing. I did, and this is what it is. This is about 2020, okay? I think for me it was about $50, $60 then, maybe $80 now. And every year, when every contest logs that he's going to show is in here. Every year before a contest, they announce there has been an update to the countries, or there has been and you go down and you download for free, and in 10 seconds you're ready for that contest, and it is free all the time.
Okay, and so this isn't, don't leave the light.
Is that okay?
I gotta show you this. Okay, this is what ARRL gives you if you renew your ARRL membership occasionally. This is a logbook for field day, and in it you have the frequency, mode, the date, time, station worked, and exchange. Okay, 5/9 or whatever. Now, as part of the rules, you have to submit what's called a dupe sheet for duplicates, because you don't want to keep working James over and over down the log, forgetting his call, and he forgets you. So in the back of the book is a dupe sheet that looks like that, and it goes alphabetically and by number, and so every time you hear like N6 PGQ, you look under 6 and you look under N and you write it in, right? And so your person that's helping you, if you want to go fast, or you look at the log, you hear him on the radio, you look in the log sheet, oh, he's good, you're working. You turn back to the other sheet and you fill it in. Okay, and then if you want to send it to Logbook of the World, you transcribe it. Nah, pay $60.
We used to have to do that before computers.
Yes, and the sheets were about this big, so you could actually read them. So anyway, this is N3FJP's front page for working field day. And in there, on the left side, it says call, class, and section. because those are the three things on field day that you exchange with the person you worked. The call sign is the call sign of the other station. The class is depending on how many transmitters you have, whether you're using power from renewable sources, power from a power main, if you're working from home, if you're working from an emergency communications location, all of those are different classes. So if you can, where is it? Oh, it's not there. Why is this not showing up? It should be something, I don't have the full screen on there. It should show our call and what our class and section are. Let's see if I can, how do you shrink things on a PC? I guess you don't. Anyway, I'm not good at PCs. So here we start. We're working field day, and so I get my microphone or my key, and I say, CQ field day, CQ field day. This is N6NA calling CQ and listening. And I hear,
N6NA, this is KL7HQR, Kilo Lima 7, Hotel Quebec Romeo in Anchorage, Alaska.
okay, so I will type in KL7HQR, and of course I typed it in the wrong spot. And he, you didn't say what you were.
Yeah, it was a, I forget what.
One Alpha?
One Alpha.
Sure.
Yes, one operation.
And he's in Alaska,
AK.
right? AK. And if you see what pops up, the section's brand new. I've never worked anybody in Alaska. And so look at all the stuff over there. Okay, so he's a 7. Alaska's on the top. See, 7, when I push return, it turns blue. It's not red anymore. So I know I don't need Alaska anymore. So here we go. CQ, CQ, CQ field day, CQ field day. This is, who did I say I was? N6NA calling CQ and listening.
November 6 Hotel Alpha.
November 6 Hotel Alpha. This is Kilo 6. What am I?
N6NA.
Gosh, my brain's gone. It's too late. This is N6NA. We are 3 Alpha Sacramento Valley. 3 Alpha Sierra Victor.
QSL, we are 7 Alpha. Sacramento Valley.
Okay, oops.
Yes, we.
I forgot to please copy.
Well, you don't have to. Okay, so it's new. See, it came up red? Okay, so she's next.
Question? Sorry.
Yes.
So when you say Sacramento Valley, you need to know the code to type in.
Yes, you do. He will tell you if you don't know, or it's on there. Okay, so look at 6.
Alberta is
Look-
AV.
Look at 6. We're SV.
Kind of guess sometimes.
But normally, the person will say Sacramento Valley, Sierra Victor.
Or they'll just say Sierra Victor.
Yeah.
So SJV.
SJV is San Joaquin Valley. And so, there's the whole country. So, one more. Okay, CQ, this is N6NA calling CQ field day.
This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta. I'm 1 Charlie Papa Romeo.
Okay, so Puerto Rico's new. Okay, so tilt. Okay, so now we've got, up in the top, we've got 3 contacts. It tells their class, the section, the time we worked them, the band we worked them. Hello. Okay, you're working a contest. Make sure you change the band when you change frequencies.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise you go, where did I change? They're all wrong. It all says 20 meters and I changed to 40 after a couple of contacts. And it all says 20.
Sometimes these software will.
Now, if you have a new radio and you plug your radio in, it keeps track of your frequency, it keeps track of your band, it keeps track of all of that, as does this software, and you don't have to worry about it when you change bands. It changed that little 20 down at the bottom and put you in the right frequency. Okay, so here we go again. Answer me.
Okay.
CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day. This is N6NA calling CQ and listening.
N6NA, this is KL7HQR, Kilo Lima 7 Hotel Quebec Radio in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay, okay, did you see what he said? So I'm going to push tab, and before I even fill it in, or I've been listening to him, I push it again. What did I do wrong?
Well, you put HDQR.
Oh, I can't. I can't see anymore. Okay, so now just imagine that his call's not that.
Okay.
Okay, it says possible duplicate, and so it's warning me that I've worked him before. Yeah, thank you, magic fingers. And so when I push tab, the computer yells out, duplicate! And you go, we're a dupe, bye.
Not only that, but it tells you what record, so that way you can go.
Yes, and you might have screwed it up by typing KL7HDQR, because I have fat fingers and I hate PC keyboards. But anyway, Neil's going to hit me afterwards, because he really likes PCs, and I have trouble with them because I don't want to learn about it. Anyway, so this is why you have logging software. When you're done with it, you can go to Save As. You can export an ADIF file, which is the kind that your logging software will recognize. And then the other one is down here. That's the cool one that says write and submit the file, and it'll look up ARRL and send it off to them. Now, this contest is not one you want to do that, because there's a whole information sheet that you need to send into ARRL that isn't on this log, that tells you we've used emergency power, and we get the bonus points for using solar power instead of just a generator. There's all sorts. Do you have a safety officer?
Satellite contact.
Have you made satellite contacts? You know, all those kind of things are in the checklist that you send off to ARRL, who's the contest sponsor.
Yeah,
And so,
local celebrity shows up, like.
oh yeah. Do you have an information table? Was there a public official that came? We always invite our local congressman or congresswoman to our website. Was there local publicity to the newspapers and the television stations? And you indicate that in the form you send back. Most contests do not ask that. It's just the score you got.
And by the way, talking about score, if you look on the right-hand side there, on top, it's keeping track of your scores. The number of contacts, the number of points, automatically is being computed.
Bob, can you go back to the ADIF export and maybe go over that in a little more detail for everybody? This brings us back to LOTW and QRZ. And
Okay, this just makes an ADIF file. As you can tell, the file is ARRL and so when I save it, I usually put 2024 in there before it says ARRL, and I save it to the desktop. I save all of them to the desktop, look at them, because then I can find it when I send the file off, and then I have a folder that I put all my scores in.
But then if I'm working on my own and I want to record the contest in my own regular logging software.
Right.
I can export that.
You export that, save it on your desktop, and then when you go to your logging software, you say import ADIF, and you tell it which one it was. That's why you put 2024 on it, and click that, and all of a sudden you've got 83 contacts in your logging software that are all the stations you've worked. And then you can if your logging software does it automatically or not, you can then click another button and say export to LOTW, and it sends all those over. And then after a day or two, you look at it, and this guy confirms your call, and that guy confirms the contact, and this guy does it, and all of a sudden you've got, 15 more states in your worked all states file.
So just for all the students, this does not replace your logging, your log. This.
Although this
program-
company will, this software has a log with it, but not the contest. You
But
have
if
to.
you're relying on QRZ, or if you're relying on Ham Radio Deluxe, or LNTW, or all three, which is what I do,
Yeah,
you'll want to export that and import. So when I use Ham Radio Deluxe, which I learned about at one of our club meetings a couple of years ago.
well, the owner of the company did a Zoom meeting with us.
So when I log on that, I have rig control, so it's automatically keeping track of time and everything. And then as soon as I log in, it automatically updates QRZ. And then, as Bob said, I upload and download the Logbook of the World, and it's all integrated. So you could use this as your main logger,
Yeah,
but it's probably limited.
Yeah.
It's really a contest logger. The question I'm raising here is how do you get that data into your regular logger?
yeah, by saving all the
It's not
files.
hard, you just need to know.
You just need
What you wanna do.
need to remember to do it
Yeah.
and label it in some kind of way that you recognize that that was the contest I did. Because sometimes it just says log, and you go, ugh, what was that one? And you have to, go under information and find the date that you did it and all that. And, no.
Yeah.
So save it as something you can find. So these things beat this thing. And so what we do at field day is we have someone logging and someone operating the radio. And they kind of cross-check each other, because you can look at my fat finger and it wasn't KL7HQR, it was something else. And it had too many letters in it, and you usually look over and you go, I think that was this. Or you write their calls on a piece of paper just as you're listening to them and leave it between the two of you so they can, look at it and make sure it's right. It's fun. That's what we do at field day, and this is the software we use. And
What day's field day this year?
it's the 22nd and 23rd of June.
Hopefully you'll
So
want-
put that on your calendar. Do not forget to come visit us. It'll be at Dry Creek Ranch in Rio Linda. And this is the same place where apparently you guys are going to go and do your get on the air thing at Farm and Tractor Days, which was kind of fun. You get to see all sorts of crazy farm and tractor stuff. And
Before you guys leave, don't forget to come around here and take a look at what he does.
Yeah, I've got lots of those things. I like doing special event stations. They're kind of fun and not challenging, and usually there isn't a pileup, and they list different frequencies so that if 40 doesn't work, you can try 20 and all that kind of stuff.
I like to get the battleships.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's all sorts of great ones. There's
Yeah.
Lighthouse and Lightship Weekend, where all the lighthouses that are in existence, people put radios there, and on the lightships. And then there's ones that are all the museum ships that get on the air. So the Jeremiah O'Brien and the Pompanito and whatever the
It's Midways.
ship Midways on in San Diego, and all of those ships get on it. A few of them. There's one cruise liner that was nuclear powered or something like that. They're on there. It didn't work out well, but anyway, you look in the in QST. That's why you are a member of ARRL. You look in QST, and those things are listed. I volunteer at the VA, and can always use people that love to go through bureaucracies and get registered with the government, have your fingerprints taken and all that kind of stuff. We can always use operators there, so sometime talk to me if you want to volunteer at the VA. But we...
Ex-military or anything?
No, I'm not. That's why I'm there. I want to thank the folks that served. Anyway, we, a couple of years ago, did a special event station on Veterans Day, and we may do it again this year. We're still trying to figure out whether we want to or not.
What are the requirements to get a special event call?
Apply with ARRL, like, what is it, 3 months ahead of time or more?
Yeah, to get it published.
Yeah, and to get it published, yeah.
But you can, even do it later than that if you just want it on the website, and it'll be published on the
Yeah.
website.
It doesn't get in QST, but they're charging extra for magazines now, and you can't sit in bed and read your computer or sit, well, never mind, in other rooms of the house and enjoy reading while you're on the throne or something like that.
We've got
I pay extra and get it online, get a magazine.
we've done a special event station at the Maker Faire.
Yes.
It's usually in October, and you have an event like that, and you put a station there, you can get a 1-by-1 call, and you can request that. So for that weekend, we asked for N6M for Maker, and it's an attraction for people. They would like to try to contact those stations.
Had a good time there too.
Speaking of Farm and Tractor Day, which is next month's activity for this group, Saturday is probably the best day for everyone. It's a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday. For those who work, of course, Friday won't work, but Saturday, they're there from 9 to 4 p.m. And it's the same Saturday we have our club breakfast over at Brookfield, starting at 8:30 is the breakfast. So just want to ask, what would be a good time for most of you to be able to, if you want to attend this thing on Saturday, what would be a good time, do you think? I was suggesting doing that like around 10 o'clock.
I mean, you do a breakfast and then go out to the.
Yeah.
That sounds like, yeah.
But Carol, how much resource do you need to set that up out there? Do you need an hour to set up, or is it a quick setup?
Well, no, it's pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to have a booth out there already set up, and we'll have some tables. We'll just have to bring an HF radio out and set up an antenna, which shouldn't take very long at all. And we can do some operating from out there. I know Bob's done that before.
Every year.
Yeah, we talked to the Indianapolis 500 from there. I know
Thank
that.
on your radio, thank you.
That's right, KX30.
So the place, I forgot the name of the place again.
It's Dry Creek
The Dry
Ranch.
Creek Ranch is at least 30 minutes from Brookfield, right? And we would have breakfast that day.
Well, so just out on Elkhorn Boulevard.
Very easy to get to from there. Okay.
Just go up Watt and turn left.
Yeah, it's like about a 20-minute drive.
Or actually, you turn right. Never mind, from Brookfield.
So I don't know, should we do it 10 or 10:30?
10:30, I think would be.
Yeah, let's aim for 10:30. And yes, gather, there's a lot of different exhibits and booths there. You look for the one that has the antenna. And that'll be our booth. That'll be on Saturday. But you're welcome to stop by any
Yeah,
day, either
it's just
Friday
the
or
other
Saturday.
night.
Is it this Saturday?
No, it's in May. It's going to be May 18th. May 18th, and I'll send out an email to all of you, also as a reminder.
Bob,
Yes.
in that logging program that you were just showing us, you
Yes.
showed us, you demonstrated the duplicate.
Yes.
Is the program smart enough to tell the difference between uppercase and lowercase?
Yes. In fact, it almost always fills in the field in uppercase, no matter what you're typing.
Yeah, okay.
It's smart.
And so it's smart enough to know that N6 PGQ in all caps or N6 PGQ in lowercase is the same content.
Very good projector there, worked very well.
And other contests have specific things in them, like you have to tell them the number of your contact. So the first person you contact is number 1.
Here you go.
Next one is 2, 3.
Here we go.
And the logging program is specific for that one, for each of the rules. So, it counts for you as it goes up. So the logging software makes everything good. And again, look at the rules from the sponsor. because some of the contests, the maximum power is only 100 watts. And so, you know, these kilowatt stations aren't going to be competing with you. There we go.
Okay, what we have here for you guys to look at is his certificates. I have here my example of my logs, including my log number 1 from 1971.
Cool.
And I have a few QSL cards here. Feel free to take one if you want.
This was excellent.
Yeah, Ted, there's one other quick thing.
One thing, if you're going to do the action, don't forget to buy international stamps, and that's what they look like. It's a lot cheaper than using the regular stamps. There's a flat fee for anywhere in the world. They do not work for the return because these are only valid in the United States. But it's
So
good for you.
they may ask you for a green stamp or couple dollars, because they have to pay for postage and pay to have their QSL cards printed.